All right, today we are going to see which one is safer for home defense, the 9mm or the 5.56 223 with defensive loads of ammunition. We will be doing this with drywall so we can actually simulate what it's like inside the home. From there, we'll do some various other different ammunitions just to see which one works better. So the first test is going to be 9mm full metal jacket. This is going to be 115 grains. All right, on this first test, we are going to be doing full metal jacket, 9mm 115 grain through the 16-inch Smith & Wesson FPC. We're going to be utilizing a suppressor as well because that's how my typical home setup is, okay? Let's see how that actually went. All right, as we can see, it went through the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way down and completely passed through 16 layers of drywall, standard full metal jacket. Next is gonna be Gold Dot 147 grain G2 hollow points. That was devastating. Let's take a look. Take a look towards the right here. We see it going through, expanding on the way through. A little bit more devastating. And it did make it all the way to 16, drop down, and we were able to get 0 penetration on that Gold Dot G2 147 grain. Next up is going to be the Federal HST 124 grain plus P. Let's see how it went. All right, it's expanding as it goes. 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, it started getting real expansive on this one, on the 4th layer. Expanding, expanding, expanding. And did it make it through? The Federal HST made it through that 16th layer, unfortunately. Next up, we are trying out the 100 grain frangible ammunition. Through. Completely blew through. Frangible does not really do anything against drywall, it looks like. We're gonna use some 9mm 115 grain Federal plus P plus. Yep, confirmed, it just blew right through. You know, it's 9mm, it's plus P plus. Did have a whole entire gigantic, devastating wound channel, but it blew through, so it's not really super safe. Next up, we're just gonna do some 55 grain full metal jackets for the 5.56. All right, taking a look at those panels. Absolutely devastating, but you can actually see that it's starting to fragment out a lot bit. Fragment, keyhole, 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 and made an exit channel with the full metal jackets at 18 layers. Now we saw it fragment out a lot, and we also saw it start keyholing, so it started tumbling almost immediately. Next one, we're gonna try out some green tip penetrators. This is gonna be some 65 grain M855 ball. Taking a look at that ball penetrator, it got pretty darn close to that other hole, but it started keyholing, tumbling like crazy on this actually. And as we expected, did make it through completely. We expected those things to actually go through because that is more meant for like offensive ammunition. For defensive ammunition, first one, we're gonna use some Federal true soft points. We're gonna see how this one actually goes. It's gonna be 55 grain. I aimed a little bit top that way, but as you can see, the expansion is going to be a lot bigger. It's a little bit more true on that. However, making it pass. It stopped at 17 walls, 17 layers. It stopped, and then it actually fragmented and fell downwards. Pretty darn impressive. It barely made it past the 16th layer. Next up, we're gonna try some Federal true ballistics points. These are what law enforcement uses a lot of times, so we'll see how it actually functions in terms of home defense as well. Entry is gonna be real small on that, but if we take a look here, it expands like freaking crazy. Looking at it, starting to tumble a little bit, and right there, as expected, it stayed at the 16 layer mark. Pretty darn impressive with those. Last one for the 5.56 Hornady Varmint Express, so the VMAX rounds. These ones are very commonly used for home defense. They have a huge expansion rate, so we're going to see how this one actually performs. Taking a look at that top right there, that little hole. Expansion rate is absolutely massive. But as we can see, 15 layers got embedded inside right here. No full penetration on that varmint. So with 223 and the right load, much safer than 9mm. Pretty freaking nuts. Taking a look at the 16th layer right here. Nothing on that side. What are your thoughts?
You know, I'm actually really surprised at how so much of the 9mm did not expand as much as the 5.56. That's pretty nuts.
Hell yeah. So, would you say that 223 is safer than 9mm?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of the Gold Dot G2 147 grain and also the 223 Varmint VMAX. Varmint. Now taking a look here, on the left is going to be the Varmint with a VMAX. Super devastating on the expansion right there. So we'll see which one stops where. On the 15th layer, there's no penetration for the Varmint VMAX. However, on the 147 grain, full penetration on the 15th layer, and it went and embedded itself in the 16th layer. There you have it, folks. 223 with a right load on a defensive load does not penetrate more than 9mm. All right, first off, we're going to test out the 145 grain NATO loads, 7.62 by 51, otherwise known as 308 essentially. Oh. Through. Oh shoot, look at that tumble though. Boom, 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 boom. Huge tumble on it. Definitely made it completely past. That's pretty cool. Next, we're gonna try some soft point 168 grain 308. This is gonna be Gold Dot as well. Started fragmenting like crazy. Look at all that extra powder burn. Huge open up right there. Taking a look, going through, and it started stabilizing, so it definitely didn't keyhole as much. But as expected, went completely through. Next up, we got 300 blackout. This is gonna be done through my 8.5-inch SBR. First off, we're gonna do 124 grain full metal jackets for 300 blackout. As we can see here, started tumbling real good actually. And then it hit my bungee and blew past everything else. Son of a. Next, we're gonna do some SUBSONIC hollow tips. This one is going to be 147 grain, so it's definitely gonna be hearing safe. So no need for hearing protection whatsoever. Although it's extremely quiet, it stayed a lot more stable while passing through everything with a hollow point. But look at that. That's kind of bonkers. Actually, yep, passed through everything. Last up, it's going to be the Sig Sauer Elite Performance. This is supposed to be like a hollow tip, and it's supposed to mushroom out pretty darn good. So we'll see how this one goes. Now taking a look at that top left, it's going, starting to tumble like crazy. Didn't fragment out really, so it definitely maintained mass like crazy, but it also went through 18 layers again. Boo. All right, next up we are going to do the 22 long rifle. This one's just gonna be standard velocity stuff. We'll see how much it penetrates. All right, looking at the 22 suppressed, it's a clean shot all the way through. And it got embedded in wall number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 11 layers of drywall stopped everything. All right, next is going to be SUBSONICs. We'll see how this one performs. Taking a look here. Went through, up a little bit, and it stopped at the same spot. Stopped at 11 layers, and it's embedded inside right here. 22s, maybe that might be a viable option.
J.C. Higgins, Model 88. This was back when Sears used to sell firearms for fun. We'll see how it does with Drywall 22. I was aiming dead center.
Nope, same exact amount.
Huh.
Yeah, same amount. 22 is pretty consistent, dude.
So
Yep.
barrel length
It just stopped right there. Actually, no, it broke. Whoa, shit. The fuck? It broke past and actually smacked into this thing. Weird. So it actually went through one additional layer.
So
revolvers.
Revolver more lethal.
Next up is going to be a 40 Smith & Wesson. We'll see how this thing performs in terms of the drywall. We'll go on the left side and then go upwards so we can do the 45 too. Taking a look at the 40 Smith & Wesson. Definitely decimated and penetrated past basically everything. And then, looks like it deflected downwards. Odd. There it is. Oh, weird, super weird. It only made it past roughly about 14 layers of drywall before it actually bounced back up a little bit. Weird, so it actually got caught. Very nice, very interesting. Next up, we're gonna do 180 grain gold dot and jacketed hollow points for these 40 Smith & Wesson. Taking a look, definitely a little bit of an expansion compared to the other one. Expanded more, roughly around the third wall. Going, and weird. The 40 Smith & Wesson penetrated all of the walls with 180 grains. That was not expected. Next, we're gonna do God's Caliber, 45 ACP full metal jacket. This one is going to be 230 grains. All right, if we take a look at that massive hole. You talk about stopping power and you talk about World War II. 2 world wars, back-to-back champions. 45 ACP will penetrate absolutely everything. Now we're gonna try the jacketed hollow points. Next, we're gonna try some UMC 230 grain jacketed hollow points for 45 ACP. Come on. Devastating giant blow through, but you can start seeing it expand just a wee bit. But with 45 ACP, it's actually maintaining a lot of its mass. So, as expected, went through everything as well. So far, what we've concluded is handguns are still more dangerous for use of home defense than a AR-15. All right, next we're gonna do a 410 number 9 shot. So we're gonna see how this one actually goes. I don't know if it did anything, honestly. It looks like it peppered like crazy. Look at the spread on that thing. Absolutely decimated that first one. It was basically a giant punch, like you were an angry kid. But does not look like it penetrated past that second layer. Maybe super effective, but I don't think it's gonna have that much stopping power unless you're like at point blank range. Very interesting. Look at how pretty that thing is though. Jesus. And next up, lastly, we got some 12 gauge. First one's gonna be BIRDSHOT. Let's see how it actually performs. Oh, no. What the fuck, dude? All right, let's check it out.
Good Lord.
As we can see here, it essentially cannonballed itself all the way through this way. Some of the BIRDSHOT made it through to the 4th layer. It's like a karate kid just kicking through, you know? All right, next we have a 1 ounce slug. I can already see completely pass through. It's a straight shot this way. That's pretty funny. There's no need to actually look through the sides because we can completely see through all of that. Just a clean spread on the rifled slug. Ugh, geez. Last up is gonna be the double odd buck. So there's roughly about 9 pellets in this one. And I have a feeling it's just gonna completely decimate everything. Absolutely devastating. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there, and all the way through. Completely went through all 16 layers without any remorse whatsoever. Devastating, absolutely devastating. If you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and visit this website here and use this code for 10% off everything inside your cart. Like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And as always, thanks for stopping by.